Hey guys, first regards from here, I'm going to be talking about a Xenophase blade build for the Assault class in patch 11.0 Space Marine 2. Now, the Overcharge perk is finally fixed in patch 11.0 to actually affect the power rake of the power sword. You'll be doing more damage than ever, and it's honestly a ton of fun to just like dish out damage to the power sword in general. And on top of that, the active attrition perk here, this did get buffed. Enemies hit by damage from melee attacks executed while sprinting or dashing take 25% more damage for 5 seconds. You can trigger this simultaneously with the perk here, Master of Offense. After switching sword combat style, we do 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. This perk can be triggered off of a lunging attack immediately after a sword combat style switch, which means you can trigger a lunge attack, get the 20% buff from this, and trigger the 25% buff on melee damage from the active attrition for 5 seconds, and also do a power rake immediately after for like a 45% damage boost to your power rake. That feels pretty damn good, pretty fun combo to use, and the Xenophase blade build has always been, I should say, one of my favorites in the game because this weapon is just really cool, and the heroic perk effect here is called Ancient Technology. Power rake waves are wider and deal 20% more damage. Now, the power rake on the Xenophase, it actually has a cone hitbox, which means that you can basically hit a Zoanthrope or a Neurothrope immediately out of the air. It's very easy to power rake them, so that's like the main upside of the Xenophase over, say, like a block power sword, because the block power sword will do more melee damage than a Xenophase blade will, but the Xenophase blade does just have a way easier time with those bosses and stuff like that, so pretty good option. Now, the perk tree I take here is Perpetual Strength, excuse me, not Perpetual Strength, Armored Strength. You have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10% into the perk Master of Offense for the reasons I mentioned before. Then I pick up Perpetual Strength, moving here into the perk Tranquility. This perk kind of sucks for us because it's very redundant with our Prestige perk Adrenaline Boost, but either way, Tranquility is still pretty good at times. Next perk here is Melee Onslaught for a flat 10% melee damage buff. Then I pick up the perk Hard Target, moving here into the most important perk, Cutting Edge. Power Rake deals 50% more melee damage. Power Rake is by far the most important attack on the power sword, so having 50% more damage on this is just kind of a no-brainer, especially on a Xenophase blade where you already have a 20% damage buff to this, and especially since we're taking an Overcharge build, which is kind of like the whole point. Next perk here is Extremis Slayer, moving up to Majora Slayer. Then I pick up the perk Terminus Slayer for those free melee damage buffs. And then you can either pick up Speed Restoration or Power Restoration. Both of these will give you more CHP recovery to your respective dance style, so that's really up to you. That's pretty much all there is for the Xenophase blade. Now for the secondary option here, I do take Retribution's Bequest. This is the new heroic heavy bolt pistol. Now this thing's ammo economy is god-awful, but since our Xenophase blade has no issue wiping out things like Zoanthropes and Neurothropes with our power rake, we can actually just whack them out of the sky instead of shooting them, so we save a lot of ammo off of that. And on top of that, the heroic perk effect here did get buffed, no help is coming. Shooting an enemy with the elite stream status effect stops it from calling for reinforcements, and headshots will kill in one shot. This is actually pretty useful for like horde controlling to stop those reinforcements, but on top of that, they also buff the heavy bolt pistol to have the highest gun strike damage in the entire game on the heroic version in patch 11, which is pretty nice. This thing definitely chunks enemies, and the base damage of this is also just higher than all the others. Now for the perk tree, I would build it all the way down the bottom tree like this. I take Divine Might, moving here to Perpetual Penetration, increase capacity, extended magazine, and then I pick up Death Strike, Great Might, and move here into Strong Start and pick up Able Damage. After using a class ability, damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds. You are an assault, so using your class ability happens all the time, especially with Zealous Blow or Rings of Flame, so kind of a no-brainer. Next perk here is Home Precision, moving up to Gunstrike Reload, and of course, Tactical Precision for 20% more damage on your headshots, and non-headshot damage it decreases by 10%. Headshots are pretty much all you ever want on this weapon anyways, so kind of just the obvious option to pick up Tactical Precision every single time. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary weapon here. Now for the perk tree here, we do take Overcharge for the reasons I previously mentioned. They actually updated the description of this in patch 11.0 to properly represent what it actually does. It now says damage from held and charged melee attacks increases by 25%, and a held attack is anything you have to hold down your attack button for, so pretty self-explanatory there. This will work for the Chainsword Bash, Stomp, the shoulder bash and stuff like that. It does not work for the Power Rake, the Power Wave backstep on the Power Axe for whatever reason, but it still works on our Power Rake, which is why we take it today. Next perk here is Auxiliary Arsenal. Secondary weapons damage increases by 20%. This perk, combined with the Practice Aim perk down here, buffs up the range damage of our secondaries so much that you just do a stupid amount of headshot damage at times. really useful for picking up kills. Now, you can really take any perk you want in this column because they are all good. Defense Mechanism is great for survivability. Consecutive Execution is just a top tier perk on any class it is on, but that is also up to you. Now, the next perk I take here is Active Attrition for the reasons I mentioned previously. 25% more damage for 5 seconds is amazing. And this also applies a debuff to the enemy that affects your entire team, so even better for that. Next perk here is Strategic Strikes. All of your squad members deal 20% more melee damage against Extremis and Terminus level enemies. Getting 20% more melee damage on top of all of our other buffs to our Power Rake is great. Really helps you pick up kills on Zoanthropes, Raveners, Lictors, and stuff like that. And occasionally the Neurothrope if you actually run into one. Next perk here is Smiting Angel, picking up Zealous Blow next, and then we grab Pride and Duty for like the ultimate combo to positively wipe out Minoru Swarms, do significant damage to Majoris, and get all of our CDR back on our jump pack. This perk simply allows you to jump back into a Minoru Swarm over and over and over. One of the best perks in the entire game for the Assault class, and much better than Wings of Flame and Maneuverability in my opinion, because it just generates so much value. Final perk I grab here is Ample Ammunition. Any use of jump pack reloads the equipped ranged weapon and increases damage by 50% for 10 seconds. A 50% damage buff on top of the 35% range damage buff we have here is tremendous to the heavy bolt pistol heroic version. This thing does a stupid amount of damage after a jump pack. Really kind of hilarious how fast it'll kill some people, but great stuff for that. Now, for the prestige perk list, I do take Unyielding Oath, Adrenaline Boost, and Fortitude and Practice Aim. This one just gives you a ton of utility. Getting invulnerability for 3 seconds upon charging a ground pound simply allows you to survive things that would otherwise one-shot you or just take you out of the sky. Really good for that. And also, the next perk here, having no knockback on parry, block, or dodge is just amazing. This is also just one of the best perks in general for the entire game. Pretty much always pick this up, especially on a balanced weapon, will be knocked around all the time. And the final 2 perks are for, tankiness on the health increase of 15%, and range damage increases of 15% because these two are just my preferred. If you want to skip over this one and pick up Scramble Targeting, you definitely could because this one is also very strong. But that's pretty much all there is to this build, guys. The Xenophase Blade has been a fan favorite in this game since patch 10.0 came out. It also has a great synergy with the Heavy Bolt Pistol Heroic version because you do save all that ammo thanks to being able to Power Rake the Neurothropes and Zoanthropes. And honestly, this weapon just feels better than ever because of the Overcharge fix. And that's pretty much all I have to say in this one. Hopefully this build guide helped. If you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, take it easy. Here's some gameplay. Bye.
Xenos' hunger is insatiable, but the Imperium is indomitable. The Xenos scum should have remained.
Yeah, that's a real kill team right there, working together to kill the giant Carnifex.
Jump pack refuel. Take flight and let terror fall. Another alien falls to the Imperium's threat. I am airborne ready.
Naval-grade macro weaponry.
To serve here carries the highest price.
That's sick, look at that.
To deliver the Emperor's violent retribution.
I walked out the door into a firing line. That's good.
Avenging angel.
Bang. Oh, that's the grab they do. That's just actually mean. They'll do a lot of damage though. But have a rude grab at times.
Here it comes, brothers.
Balance moment. Dude, I hate these sword warriors will sit there 2 feet in front of you and just hold their sword block the whole time. Oh, look at that damage.
Here it comes. Shock surges detected.
Clever girl. Or whatever.
Xenos' hunger is insatiable, but the Imperials don't.
The beast dives at us.
Avenging angel.
Aerial strike imminent.
I'm airborne ready. Free as an angel of death. Commencing reload.
The remaining prime agents surviving prime displaying extreme ferocity. Our brothers are avenged.
I need to skip over the final part there. I send them both into execute.
Stop. Prepare for rapid egress. Be advised. The gyroscopic containment shield.
I'm already unknown. Thank you for the kind stuff.
Plasma dispersal. Plasma cores are now exposed.
Take it easy, Fridge.
Caution advised. Reactor critical to
Or are you leaving? Or are you leaving, Inquisitor? Just read your message.
We are losing time.
Talassa, we're tracking your signatures. Octavio and Heriton Leader already on board. Our brothers prevailed.
Follow the designated evacuation routes immediately.
It's all going to shit, guys. We gotta get out of here.
Hurry.
How below this possible, Sam.
Breaking apart. We will wait as long as we can.
stellar, Talassa. This operation would have ended in a major loss for...
That's the new Xenophase blade. Overcharge. That's fun. Perfect.